Terrence Bud Crawford is now the undisputed 168-pound champion of the boxing world. And this is how it started. Mr. Beast getting a punch from Mike Tyson. More about Terrence Crawford in a second.
On season, Canelo and Crawford's about to happen. It literally starts within an hour. So after this, you need to go watch it. And to raise awareness, I'm going to take a punch from Mike Tyson. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, that was great. Of course, we love anytime we see Mr. Beast get punched. All right, now on to the fight. Right now, we got this on and cracking. And what we're going to do before the main event is we're going to go over some of the UFC cards. We're also going to go over the card that is the undercard for this one. So we're going to go over all of that. Okay, so here we go. Diego Lopez obviously gets a second round TKO against Jean Silva. Now, I got to tell you what's really awesome about this fight, right? First and foremost, he mounted him in the first round. He had no answer for it, had a 12-6 elbow in which he hit him right on top of his head, cut him open, busted him up. And then in the second round, he just couldn't do anything about it. Rob Font versus David Martinez. David Martinez gets a decision in this one. Obviously, his striking was the reason for that. Much busier, much more accurate. It's what won him the fight. Rafa Garcia taking on Jared Gordon. TKOs him in the last round. By the way, there was a lot of TKOs going on in this fight. How about this? Kelvin Gastelum comes into this fight, obviously, with a bit of some controversy, considering that he came in 5 pounds over. But what does he do in the process? Well, this is what he does in the process. He goes in there and not only upsets Dustin Soltov, but does it to a pro-Mexican crowd in a UFC's Noche event. By the way, not to be overshadowed by Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, which is about to happen right now. Alexander Hernandez taking on Diego Ferreira. Okay, so Alexander Hernandez gets a second round TKO finish in that one. One of the many TKO finishes that we had in this one. Santiago Luna gets a first round TKO against Li Kwang. That was crazy. That was a back and forth, right? In which anybody could have finished anybody at that particular time. But this time it was Santiago that was able to get the finish. It was a back and forth, man. It could have gone to either guy, but you know what? Santiago wanted it more. He had 2 knockdowns in the process and got the TKO finish. So that is the main card, the prelims, which was exciting in and of itself. Jose Medina taking on Dusko Derechov gets a submission in the first round. Claudio Puelles versus Joaquin Silva. Joaquin Silva gets a decision in that one. Tatiana Suarez gets a decision over Amanda Lemos. Of course, just constant wrestling, which is what got her to the contendership, and it's also what won this fight. Jose Aguilar gets a decision over Luis Guruli. Okay, so gets that first. What was it? Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Gets the decision on that one. No contest. How about this? Dricus Dumas. I'll tell you what's interesting about this fight, right? Cedric Dumas came into this fight with literally $15 in his bank account going into it, right? So as a result, guess what he does? I would say that he probably faked this injury in order to get some sort of win bonus money or this, that, and the other. And in return, he got a no contest. Could that be the reason? Could that be the reason why he faked an injury? Because it looked fake. A lot of people get groin shots all the time. But what about this one? What now? He probably thought he was going to win. Apparently, that wasn't the case. So as a result, here we are. Cedric Dumas gets a no contest. So we don't know if he actually gets the winning bonus of any kind, right? Alessandro Costa taking on Alden Carrera. Alden Carrera gets a third round TKO. By the way, very late finish, but at the same time, wow, very dramatic. All right. Monstrat Rendon gets a decision over Alice Pereira. That was the first fight of the evening. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the first fight of the evening. This was this the first fight of the evening? Rodrigo Zendo taking on Daniil Dushchenko. Yes, this was for the tough finale in which Daniil Dushchenko wins this one. So, yeah, very bloody fight too on top of it. Well deserved. All right. So now let's get to the full card of Canelo versus Terrence Crawford as we get into the main event right now. Let's check it out. Let's check out the whole entire card right here from top to bottom. All right, so shout out to everybody around the world that is tapping in. Don't forget to like and subscribe because we are going to react to the main event of the evening right now. Okay, so from the very top, okay, which is the co-main event of the evening, Callum Walsh gets a unanimous decision over Fernando Vargas. Now, there was a lot going into this fight. Obviously, Fernando Vargas sort of took it a little bit personal, bringing family into it. Callum Walsh didn't allow that to get to him. Wins by unanimous decision. And how about this? A draw by Christian Mbili versus Lester Martinez gets a split draw. Very close fight. I don't know who I would have given this fight to, but in the end, hey, listen, it was a split draw. Could it be a good rematch somewhere down the line? Maybe. How about this? Travis Crawford versus Muhammad El-Kheer. Now, Muhammad El-Kheer was brought in here because obviously he's a Saudi project. We're going to see how that goes in the future. Travis Crawford, he was brought here because his last name is Crawford. Nonetheless, 130-pound bout. Muhammad wins his first 10-round decision, which, by the way, I think he really needs to move down the future. How about this? An upset tonight. Brandon Adams upsets Siri Bochak by unanimous decision. I would have imagined Siri was going to win this, but Brandon Adams with the upset. Shout out to him. Let's take a look at the record of Brandon Adams, right? 26-4, very unassuming going into this fight. Obviously, his 26th win of his career, coming off of a split decision loss from Andres Katsourakis. Okay, now that's a split decision coming off a loss. That one shouldn't really take too much of it. How about in his last fight, unanimous decision, then gets a liver shot, third round finish, and then, oh, wow. Okay, so he has fought this guy before. He's even fought him in, okay, so this is a rematch. All right, so I guess it makes sense why he was able to beat him in this one. All right, and soundly too on top of that. So 26-3. Yeah, so all right. Wait, no, it was okay. So that was that. Okay, so they did fight before. Okay. All right. So moving on to the card. Let's check out the rest of the card right now. Okay, so we have that, and then Jermaine Franklin against Ivan Dushchenko. Okay, this was the one where they didn't rematch for. Sorry, I almost kind of mixed them up in the fight. I mean, Eastern European and African American brother. I guess you would kind of, but these guys have never fought each other before. And as a result of that, Jermaine Franklin gets a unanimous decision. I predicted this one right here, not mid-fight, but just right before the fight. So Jermaine Franklin was in there with some top guys. Ivan Dushchenko, even though he's an Olympian and a bronze medalist at that, hey, listen, in the pros, it's completely different when you are dealing with top level guys. And that's that. Rito Tatsumi. Okay, this is a guy that is being endorsed by Andre Ward, gets a first round knockout against Javier Martinez. Nothing to really say about that other than that the kid has some serious knockout power, along with the likes of Inoue, which, by the way, is going to fight tonight. How about that, huh? He's going to be fighting tonight after this one, which, by the way, is going to be predicated on Japanese time. Now, earlier in the night, you had Sultan El Mohammed gets a unanimous decision against Martin Caralbo. Rito Santana gets Reniel Santana gets a decision. Well, unanswered shots in the first round. How about that? Round 1 out of round 10, Steve Williams gets a first round knockout. And obviously, Steve Williams is in here with Bomac. He is a part of the Terrence Crawford entourage. Marco Verdi gets a fourth round knockout against Sona Akili. And yeah, that is basically all of the entire fights of that. Now here we are in the main event of the evening. So shout out to everyone. Fresh, yes, I am live. So all right. Now we go on to the main event of the evening. There it is. Terrence Crawford gets the victory, unanimous decision. Now, let's go over how I saw this fight from the very beginning, right? So, obviously, going into round number one, I scored it for Crawford, right? The way that he was handling the ring, the way that he was destroying Canelo, just picking him apart, going from jab head to body. Rounds 2 and 3, I gave to him as well. Round 4, I gave to Canelo. And there were some people that were scoring it 2 and 2 in between the fight. Round 5, I gave to Canelo. That's what it looks like it's going to be, an even, maybe a decision time. And the way that the fight was going by the 6th round, it looked like it was definitely going to go into a decision. I think Bud is going to slow down in the later rounds. That's not true. That's not exactly what happened. More than likely, they're going to give a decision to the Mexican today. That wasn't the case because you know what? Canelo, Crawford beat him soundly. Crawford got him in the 6th round. No celebratory mandatory McDonald's for Zane. Oh, okay, because of last time when we were on the live stream. So 7th round, I gave to Canelo. Okay, now this is where it got a little bit more difficult right here, right? Crawford, round number 8, still hard to score. It was a hard round to score, but I gave it to Crawford. At this point, some people had it 68, 66 at that point. Round number 9, I gave it to Crawford, showing why this was his natural weight. People were saying, speculating, hey, you know what, maybe he's a little bit too small for this weight class. That's not the case. That's not what happened here. Right here, Crawford wins 10. Round number 10 was on his way to win this. And I said right here, round number 11, Crawford. Now we see why boxers have avoided each other in the past. Now we see what Turkey saw. And here it was, creating a new competitive architecture that we would never seen in most eras where a lot of boxers were denying each other. And for some people out there who put money on this fight, Canelo seems to have been the favorite, but that wasn't the case. 12th round, Crawford was going to close the show and get the decision, and that was that. And he says, I'm going to laugh if someone it's a decision. NJ says, let's go. Well, guys, listen, that is all that I really have for this one right now. Thank you for everybody that's tapped in. And thank you to everyone that was here from the very beginning all the way to end. Even if you just came and checked out everything, listen, I got a full recap of everything in here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. He says, Team Bud, bro, he made it look easy as well. Let's effing go. That's right, man. He definitely made it look easy. So shout out to Drizzy Goat, NJ, Mr. Burberry, Fresh Melon Juice. Also, everybody around the world that was tapped in. Thank you to Zane. Thank you to Jermaine that popped in earlier. Everybody around the world. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one, inshallah. MMA needs if you want to find predictions, news, and everything that deals with MMA. Shout outs to Kyrie Abu El-Kheer MMA, Sacramento, California represent.
That's right, Kyrie. I appreciate you, my nigga. You came in here, you was talking that shit. That's right, bro. Much love, Flo. I appreciate you for always stepping in, bro. Be safe out there. Man, my nigga Kyrie, my man Kyrie came through. He started talking that shit. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. That nigga will whoop your fucking ass. You will think that nigga's all squared up and all that type of shit. Nigga come through and beat your fucking ass. Like, man, fuck you up. You will never see it coming. So for those of y'all,
starting off the list of good. Oh, this actually he's gonna go into neutral too because this guy's fucking. He's wild as shit sometimes, but he's a fucking I'm telling you, Kyrie El-Kheer, he's wild as shit. He's going into neutral for different reasons. He's fucking wild. But he's the type of guy that you would want on your side. I feel like this guy just has an immense fucking loyalty about him. He's a good fucking dude. He is loyalty over royalty, defined to the fucking max. Now we start off the good cat. Yeah, I like Kyrie El-Kheer. Fucking so what?